Jose Pepe Diaz and Miami-Dade County Parks, Recreation and Open Spaces. I would like to welcome you to tonight's public meeting to go over potential improvements to North Trail Park. Next slide, please, Carlos. The agenda for today is we are having the welcome and introduction. We're gonna have a brief couple of words on the open space system master plan for Miami-Dade County, and then we'll jump into the discussion on North Trail Park and the future enhancements. After we mention the enhancements, we're gonna have a polling session where you guys will be able to rate the priority of those enhancements, and after that, we'll share the results and we'll have a Q&A session. Let me introduce myself and the team that's leading this public meeting. My name's Alejandro Zizold, Alex Zizold. I'm with Miami-Dade County Parks, and I'm the master plan manager. Together with me is Stephanie Cornejo, our Parks Planner 3, and Carlos Lopez, our Parks Planner 2. Next, Carlos.
Great, so as part of our housekeeping, we would like to facilitate a comfortable virtual workshop and ensure that everyone understands how we will use Zoom this evening. Normally in an in-person meeting, we would share where the restrooms and water fountains are located. Today in a virtual meeting, we would like to highlight some of the capabilities of Zoom. If you move your cursor or mouse over the Zoom screen, you'll see a bar, a black bar that has our raise hand feature. The raise hand feature will be used for our Q&A session after the polling. And just a friendly reminder to everyone, if you're having any connectivity issues, don't worry, just log back into the session. You'll be able to join us again. With that, I'll turn it back over to Alex.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. And just for everybody to know, this session is being recorded. So let's talk about your parks system. Your park system is the third largest park system in the United States, after systems like New York and LA. It serves 2.7 million residents in Miami-Dade County, out of which 1.4 reside in the unincorporated areas of the county. The system includes over 270 parks, over 13,000 acres of natural areas, 17 miles of beaches, 6 golf courses, 6 marinas, 2 causeways, 3 campgrounds, 6 nature centers, our Zoo Miami, and programs like Neat Streets and Million Trees Miamis. Next, Carlos. So back in 2006, the Parks Department developed the Miami-Dade County Open Space Master Plan. We looked around across cities across the US and around the world, cities that we all love to visit and that are world cities. And we understood that they all had one thing in common. They all have a great parks system. So we started working with you, with the community, to develop a plan. And the master plan is a vision that you, the community, created of an interconnected system of parks and open spaces connected through greenway trails and complete streets that encourage people to walk, bike, and live healthier lifestyles. Next. The complete system includes great parks, great public spaces, great natural and cultural areas, great greenways and blueways, as well as complete streets tying it all together. And the vision also follows, next, 6 basic principles. Those include seamlessness. Our parks and open spaces need to be interconnected with the neighborhood and the communities, and regardless of municipal boundaries. Beauty, our parks and facility need to be aesthetically pleasing. Access, every resident needs to be able to walk or bike to a park, to their park. Equity, every resident should enjoy the same quality of services and programs. Sustainability, which includes contributing to the social and cultural and economic prosperity of the county, and multiple benefits. And the goal of the plan is to access a park within 10 minutes walk of where you live. And you might ask, why is this important? It is important because this will improve the quality of life of all Miami-Dade County residents. Next. So now focusing right at North Trail Park, we're doing these improvements as part of the implementation of this master plan and bringing improved facilities and elements to your park. The park currently has a community center, has tennis, basketball, volleyball, a playground, and a skate court, as well as parking, walking paths, and open fields to play. And we're looking at doing some enhancements. Next slide. The first enhancement that I'm happy to inform that we are in permitting. We're starting permitting, and we anticipate construction to start in about early summer of next year. Is the expansion of the community center. The community center is going to get an almost 2,000 square feet added to it. It's going to include multi-purpose rooms and community rooms. All the finishes are going to be redone. The breezeway right now, it currently has, is going to be air conditioned. The restroom facilities are going to be air conditioned as well, and are going to be indoors. It's going to be an amazing state-of-the-art facility. Next slide. We're also adding an outdoor restroom building, its own independent restroom, due to the fact that now the current restrooms are going to be inside the community center. So we're bringing an additional restroom building close to the field and playing courts, and that's going to also have a water fountain. The next improvement, it's that it's been planned is a splash pad, a water play feature for our kids and children to be able to enjoy throughout the year. Next, Carlos. The playground is going to be redone. It's going to be updated. It's going to be a brand new playground. It's going to be a nature-based playground, which will allow our kids to get in contact with nature and learn more about the natural habitat and be exposed to trees and insects and get all those benefits of playing in nature and with nature. Next, Carlos. We're also looking at potentially connecting the walking path to the sidewalk along Northwest 128th Court, completing that segment that's missing and making it ADA accessible. Carlos. We've heard requests to add an additional basketball court, a third basketball court, together with more bleachers for the park. Next one, Carlos. As well as improving and expanding the tennis facility by adding one additional court and lighting the courts so that there could be extended play, especially with the time change that's coming close in November. Next, Carlos. We're also looking at adding bike racks so that families and individuals who would like to bike to the park are able to tie them and lock them safely and enjoy the facilities. And lastly, we're looking at adding the number of benches along the walking paths together with shade trees so that it gets more comfortable for our park patrons, our visitors to walk around and rest or see the children play in the playground or the splash pad, as well as throughout the park. Next, Carlos. So now we're gonna talk about the next steps.
Hi, everyone. So we're going to enter the polling segment of tonight's meeting. When I launch each poll, a pop-up window will appear on your screen with the question and your response options. Please take a moment to select your answer and then hit submit. Additionally, if you have any questions following the polling, please use the raise hand function and we will call on you to share your input. The first question is we're asking you to rank the priority of a new splash pad at North Trail Park. I'm going to open up the polling momentarily. Okay, so you should now see the polling screen. You have the option to choose between high priority, medium priority, or low priority. You also have the option to select neutral or no preference or not a priority. I'm going to give everyone just a moment, and I'll also give a countdown prior to closing the poll. All right, it looks like about half of you have voted. Just a few more missing votes. Okay, I'm going to count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
And Carlos, sorry, I see Mabel has her hand raised. I just wanted to ask her if she has a question related to the polling. Do you mind if we put a pause for a moment?
Of course.
Okay, great. Mabel, I'm going to unmute you, and so you should be allowed to be able to ask a question. I saw that your hand is raised, and wanted to see if you had a question related to the polling, or if you wanted to hold off and see for the Q&A right after the polling.
My question is in regards to the enhancements, and surprised or appalled not to see enhancements related to pets, ability to bring pets to this park. I live right around the corner, so I'm just a little surprised I don't see any enhancements related. There's 2 areas in the park that are never used, and I was hoping to see some enhancements, you know, like a pet playing area, you know, for large and small pets. And there's a lot of pets in our area, so just surprised.
Okay, thank you, Mabel. We'll definitely note that. And if you don't mind, what I'd love to do is talk about that further in the discussion period. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll pass it over back to Carlos. Sorry, thank you for your question, Mabel, and point about your interest in pet areas, and I'll pass it back to Carlos.
Okay, I'm going to share the results as we go along with this. It seems to be a priority, medium priority overall. For the next polling session, we're hoping to get a few more participants to answer on this. So let's move forward on this, and we'll go to the next polling question. Please rank the priority of a new playground at North Trail Park. I'm going to open the polling now. So how would you rank the priority of a new playground at North Trail Park? Looks like we've got about half of the votes in. I'll give it a few more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, playground seems to be ranking as a high priority item. We'll go ahead and move to the next poll. For this one, we'd like you to rank the priority of one additional basketball court and bleachers at North Trail Park. I'll launch the polling now. I'll give it a few more seconds for anyone else that hasn't voted yet to vote on this. Okay, it looks like we've got about everyone that's voting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, for the polling results on this are mixed between high and medium priority, as well as neutral or not a priority. We'll move to the next poll. Please rank the priority of one additional tennis court at North Trail Park. I'll launch the polling now. And it looks like we've got everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is trending between medium priority, neutral or no preference, and a few that are saying not a priority. We'll move to the next polling question. Please rank the priority of adding lights to the tennis courts at North Trail Park. I'll open up the polling now. Again, please rank the priority of adding lights to the tennis courts at North Trail Park. Give it about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this one is a mixed bag between high priority, medium, and low priority, as well as neutral or no preference. We'll move on to the next polling question. Please rank the priority of adding a bike rack at North Trail Park. I'll open the polling now. All right, it looks like we've got everyone that's voting on this. Give it a couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, high priority or neutral or not a priority are the responses that we've gotten for this one. I'll move forward to the next polling question. Will you please rank the priority of adding shaded benches to North Trail Park? Waiting on a few more votes to come in. Give it about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. This one's unanimously high priority. So those were, that was the polling segment for the meeting, and I'm going to hand it back over to Alex for Q&A.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you all of you residents who participated in this polling session. And now, thank you, Mabel, for your comments regarding the request to have dog facilities at this location, at this facility. We'll definitely look into that. Definitely, the park could be a dog friendly facility, or we'll look for area to see if we can implement a closed dog park. That's something we had not heard until now, and we'll definitely take a closer look at that. Thank you so much for your comment and your input.
Carlos, it looks like you have raised your hand. I'm going to allow you to talk.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Carlos, we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm wondering, the park is actually a pretty big park, and there's certain areas that are not being utilized. I know that Kendall Lakes Park has a racquetball court that has 4 courts, you know, the 4 courts and both sides that basically allows for 8 separate courts. But even if you didn't add something like that, you can still incorporate racquetball as one of the sports that are available at the park. And if the basketball courts are not, if the one basketball court is not added, this could be put right next to it, and the lighting would probably be sufficient.
Thank you, Carlos, for that feedback and that input. We definitely will look into options to see if that can be incorporated. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or?
Yeah, so it looks like Mabel has a question again. I'm going to unmute Mabel.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, besides the opportunity for having a space for dogs, I mean, I literally live right by the park, right next to the park. And we actually walk the dogs in front of the park and back to our house. And there's, I'm also speaking for my mother-in-law, who also lives here on 130th. A lot of elderly people go to this park. And there's also a lot of young people that go to do just basic training and exercise. I think the idea of getting people out and going to the park is 2 ways. One is if you walk your pet and you have a place to walk your pet, it creates the ability to have, or come to bring the park to the park, the pet. It creates a lot of more of activity for the locals here. The closest dog park, true dog park, is the one in Doral, on 54th, and the park right next to the fire station. There's a small park right next to where the fire department is on 127th Avenue. It does allow pets, but it's not enclosed in. So you kind of don't want to have your dog off leash there, because, you know, they go into the street. So that's one thing. The other thing about elderly is that a lot of the elderly gather early in the morning and late at night to just basically walk and do some basic yoga and exercise. And also young people, there's like a container at North Trail Park which I believe has, like, you know, the weight balls and stuff to do exercise. Have you guys thought about creating a space also for just training and, you know, exercise that doesn't have to be indoors? It seems like there's a couple of instructors that come there to do training and exercise with people, but there's not a true space for it.
Yes, thank you, Mabel, for that comment. Definitely, outdoor fitness courts is something that the department has as a program, and we'll look at identifying if we can find the area and room for implementing one of those. Those are definitely great elements and features on our parks, and are very popular with the users. Definitely.
Thank you, Mabel. I'm going to mute you now. Is there anyone else that would like to raise their hand and have any questions? Okay, with that said, I think we will move to the next portion of the meeting. So we have 4 simple questions that we're going to poll you on your overall feelings of this public meeting to get your feedback. I'll launch the polling momentarily. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. All right, if you have the polling in front of you, there's a series of 4 questions on this poll. Okay, it looks like some of the votes are starting to come in. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds. Okay, I'm going to close the polling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for your feedback. We'll use that in our future virtual public meetings.
Again, I want to thank everybody who participated. This current situation that we're going through, unprecedented, has definitely brought attention to the importance of park and open spaces in our lives, and how crucial they are for our health and well-being. And you guys being here, it's definitely testament of how much you care for North Trail Park and your community. We'll gather all the feedback, and we'll look at the additional elements and the possibility of including some of those elements, if not all, into the future improvements at the park. Thank you again on behalf of the Parks Department and Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz for participating in this meeting. And if you have any questions or have ideas that come to you after this meeting, please email Carlos. His email is right there on the screen, and we can follow up on those. Thank you again.